Before we get into tonight's news, let's first take a look at the top stories tonight. And in our top stories tonight, President Museveni pledges to follow up the veterans' payroll. Security persons in Kasese district recovered an AK-47 thugs were using to terrorize Bukonzo County West. The Chinese Communist Party pledges support to youth-centered programs. And the Special Olympics Committee launches athletic leadership program for persons with intellectual disabilities. Good evening once again. I'm Lauryn Kazimoto and my colleague in sign language interpretation, Yusuf Senyomo. We do welcome you to this Heroes Day News Bulletin. We start off with our first story this evening. President Museveni has pledged continuous support to people who individually offered support to his 5-year NRA guerrilla liberation struggle in the URA Triangle. The presidential continuous pledge followed persistent complaints from families that offered materialistic support and human resource that have never been compensated, contrary to his promise after the war. President Museveni was addressing the 36th Heroes Day in Lyantonde district under the theme, "The Legacy and Ideals of Our Heroes, a Memorable Inspiration." Philip Aguta reports.
President Museveni, alongside First Lady Janet Museveni, who arrived at Kariro Technical Playgrounds at 1 p.m., started his speech by faulting the State Minister for URA Triangle, Alice Kaboyo, as to why the money that was released for the bush war fighters has not been given to them to date.
When we won victory, we had first of all stabilized Uganda.
Kati twawangula olutalo kye twasookerako kyali kyakutebenkeza ggwanga lyaffe erya Uganda.
Now when Uganda was stable,
kati Uganda bwe yamala okuteeka nga waliwo obutebenkevu,
I called your leaders in Chankwanzi. I think it was 2008 there.
Mu mwaka gwa 2008 President yayita abakulembeze e Chankwanzi.
There were like 800 of them.
Bala abakulembeze nga 800.
I said,
era abagamba,
we are going to give Akasimu a thank you, the supporter 1 million.
Abawagizi abatuwagira $1,000,000.
The leaders 5 million.
Abatukulembera nga bakulembera abakulembeze abatuyambangako nabo nga tubawa $5,000,000.
So Kawandwa, the center is Alagawa.
Yes, sir.
What is the problem? Because this was long ago. Kawandwa jangu tegezeko.
Museveni cited ghost beneficiaries or corruption that might have played in the process.
5 million, sometimes for 10, for 5 for the husband, 5 for the wife. Because I insisted on that because I knew these families.
President bwe baali bagaba sente zino, family ezimu zaafuna $10,000,000 kubanga omukyala yaweebwanga $5,000,000 n'omwami $5,000,000. Ekyo yakiremerako kubanga yalabanga abakyala balina olubimbi lwe baalima ng'omukyala mu maka, ate balina n'abaami balina olubimbi lwe baalima mu kiseera ky'olutalo. Kyova alaba yakiremerako, omukyala afune n'omwami afune.
So therefore, there is a problem here which we shall solve. The money has been spent. If it didn't arrive, we shall sort it out.
Museveni's action was ignited by the complaints from some of the people who supported the liberation struggle and haven't benefited. Although the State Minister for URA Triangle, Alice Kaboyo, talked of having disbursed shillings 218 billion to 87,000 war veterans.
I pledge Your Excellency the Veterans Verification Committee still await your meeting to present to you the strategies to better the payment of our gallant veterans.
As part of the presidential pledges in the area that were affected by war, President Museveni pledged to construct the Lwemiaga Tusi and Mutukla Road in Rakai district.
I have heard your demand on the Ntuti Kashagama Lyantonde Road. Ate n'abakoki baffe Lyantonde Lumbugu Rakai.
Abantu baffe ab'Ekkooki era oluguudo lwe Lyantonde Lumbugu paka Rakai.
Together, we are going to do also the one of Rusalira, Kabamba, Ntuchi, Sembabula. That one is already being funded.
The Minister for Presidency commended the initiative by government to celebrate the heroes.
We are celebrating this year's Heroes Day here in Lyantonde, Kabula, which was carved out of the Greater Rakai district. Kabula played a very big role during the 1981-86 liberation struggle. It was not only used as a transit route corridor for recruits, but it was also a corridor where most young men and women bravely joined the Bush War liberation struggle of 1981-1986.
The Heroes' Day was attended by ministers, members of parliament, religious and cultural leaders, and foreign dignitaries, among others. Philip Aguta and Danny Lugemoa for UBC News in Lyatonde.
50 Ugandans have been recognized with medals in different categories for their exceptional contributions to the country. The award of these medals took place in Lyantonde district, where the 36th Heroes Day celebrations for this year were held, with President Museveni presiding over the ceremony as chief guest. Now, as Philip Aguta reports, the medalists were in the categories of military, civilian and police service award. Let's have the report.
A 70-year-old Enoch Chirabo from Mubende district is one of the living citizens who was recognized with a medal during the Heroes' Day celebrations. He is a civilian and got the National Independence Medal for his contribution in mobilizing the communities in alleviating poverty and increasing household incomes.
Movement since 1986, and have been working with masses. I've tried to instill in people the value of work. They must know that we cannot survive without work.
He says he's grateful that he has been recognized while still alive.
I'm very happy that for the last 40 years or so that I have served, I have been recognized and I've been given a National Independence Medal for this in this year when I'm still alive. I'm very grateful to the President and to those people who selected me to be among those people to receive this award. I'm very excited, and I hope this is not has been my recognition alone, or my thanks, my spirit of being thanked, but also the people of Mubende and also my family.
Another living hero who was recognized with a medal was 55-year-old Sergeant Margaret Turiachira, who is one of the longest-serving police officers, and he was recognized for his hard working and a counter-terrorism department. Her medal was under the Police Service Award.
I thank God because I've been recognized to get a medal today, 9th June 2025. It's only God who has made it. It is not me.
At least 50 were recognized with the medals in total, while others were recognized posthumously, as reported by the Secretary Presidential Awards Committee, Hajat Zamina Malole.
Medals in 3 categories. We have civilians, We have men and women in uniform in the UPDF and Uganda Police Services. So these people were selected carefully by the Presidential Awards Committee, which is chaired by Dr. Beatrice Wabdeya. But we have those who are going to be awarded under the civilian, who are going to get the National Independence Medal or Diamond Jubilee Medal. And they will also be awarded the Nalubale Medal.
Hazat Zamina Malole says the awards should act as an inspiration to the rest of the citizens to work hard with patriotism.
Of course, awarding people for their outstanding service across the different fields is very important, because at the same time we are able to know that today we are here because there are some people who have sacrificed their lives. There are people who have outstandingly served and they continue to serve. Secondly, it's inspirational because the young ones out there, they get to know that when we work hard or when we work for our country because it is patriotic, we get to be recognized, and that recognition doesn't go without being noticed.
Philip Agut and Daniel Ogemoa for UBC News in Liatonde.
UBC News tonight. Now, Liantonde district is not among the battlefields where successful and unsuccessful liberation wars were fought. But what makes it significant that today's Heroes Day celebrations had to be held in Liantonde district? Philip Aguta spoke to war veterans in the Franasa War of 1971 to 1979 and the NRA guerrilla war veterans of 1981 to 1986, not excluding the political leaders who hailed from Liantonde district and participated in the wars that defined the immense contributions of heroes that were celebrated today. However, part of their conversation also centered on whether their contributions commensurate to the service delivery obtained in the district.
You can't say that there is not enough, but at least we have achieved, because this was a county and we got our district status in 2007 when we got from Rakai and made a district. And since then, there is a tremendous change, because out of the 8 sub-counties, there are only 2 sub-counties without secondary schools. Out of the 8 sub-counties, it is only 1 sub-county without a health center 3. We are even they are constructing for us a health center 4.
If it's a government policy that we should all have secondary schools, yes, we've had, except 1. If it's a government policy that everybody should have a primary school, yes, we have, out of 30, except 6 that have not yet gotten those schools. If it's about good roads, we have all benefited except a few 2 national roads that we have that have not been tarmacked. But we are as expectant as others, considering the competing priorities of the government. If it's about having a district hospital equipped, yes, we have, except a few equipments here and there, like any other district. We have a policy that every sub-county should have a government hospital. That we have achieved. As a district, every sub-county at least has a government hospital, except the recently created sub-county out of the town council now. So I would say Kabra has benefited like any other district, and we look forward to continue benefiting from this government.
For so many first shots from Greater Massacre, there were so many shots that happened as the first shots that took place in Greater Massacre region. Some of them in Chotera, some of them in Massacre district, some of them in Massacre city, and some of them in Liantonde where we are. That's why we have a launch of the monument going on in commemoration of the legend heroes, that some of whom we are celebrating today. And interestingly, the Wananchi, our people, are aware of that history. When you talk to them randomly, some of them can even point out some of the heroes that are being celebrated at the monument. So it's a beautiful day. We are in high spirits. People are always very happy to see His Excellency the President. I'm an aspirant of the position of Woman MP in Antonia District. I thank the President for today and the messages of irrigation, the messages of the youth, remembering the heroes who helped him to all this. And I take this moment to also remember a hero of some sort who has been acknowledged by the generals, and it's in a process for him to be remembered. The late Felix Mujisha for what he did.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. My name is Kabera Cyprian Gasana, and I'm contesting, or I'm an aspiring candidate for Member of Parliament, Kavula constituency, and I'm grateful for the function that we have held today. Celebrations were colorful, they've been successful, there are no incidents that have been reported, and I'm grateful to the people of Kavula for hosting the President and all the dignitaries that have graced this function. As you have heard, there were comments and questions that the President was asking residents of Kavula, especially on the government programs, and if they reach down to the ground and to the last person who these programs are intended to benefit. But it was unfortunate, like some of the funds that were meant to benefit the historicals, the funds did not reach. And you also noticed that the President cautioned some of the leaders, especially the political leaders and the civil servants.
Indeed, a beautiful and colorful day it was in Liantonde district in the celebrations of Heroes Day. Well, UBC News Tonight takes a very short break, but return with more stories. Don't move an inch.
Here's your chance to win school fees for your child for a whole year. Just pay school fees using Momo. Dial *165 *80#. Select option 2 for school pay. Select option 1 to pay school fees. Enter the student number and amount and approve the transaction. You will now enter the draw to win school fees.
Life in Uganda today comes with so many uncertainties.
Where will Madam get Kameza if I get an accident and can't work? If anything happens to me, what will Junior eat?
Yeah, Kale Musa is still in the hospital. Guy is missing a lot of money here.
With a monthly payment of only 3,000 shillings off your Equity personal account for Equi-Life insurance, you will be entitled to 50,000 shillings hospital cash per night spent in a registered facility, up to 20 nights every year. And your family will receive 3 million shillings in case of your death. Visit your nearest Equity agent to sign up today or call 0312 327 000 for assistance.
Uniquely ours. Explore Uganda.
You got us on your wallet.
Bobby, again! What's this drama?
Drama? Colleagues, elections for special interest groups are calling. SITs, elections, youth, PWDs, elderly. It's time to vote for our leaders, June through August. From village to parish to district to nationals, youth, PWDs, elderly. It's time, go vote your leaders.
No!
Elections are supposed to be peaceful. Easy vote, okay?
Youth, elderly, and persons with disabilities. It's time to choose our leaders. Let's show up and participate in the Special Interest Group elections. Starting June through August this year. Your vote, your voice. My vote, my voice. This message is brought to you by the Uganda Electoral Commission.
Are you a woman with a small-scale business with a dream of growing it to another level? The GROW Project is here to support you in realizing your dream.
The GROW Project is a government initiative implemented by the Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development and Private Sector Foundation Uganda with support from the World Bank.
We support women-owned businesses across the country to gain hands-on and business management skills through training within your location, business financing through grants and affordable loans, and infrastructure in your areas of operation to enable you to increase your productivity.
If you have a business that makes sales of up to 800,000 Uganda shillings per month, the GROW Project has the tools and resources to help you succeed. For more information, contact your district or city GROW focal person or call our toll-free line on 0800 307 777 to learn more about how you can benefit from the GROW Project's services.
The GROW Project, empowering women economically, transforming communities.
Here's your chance to win school fees for your child for a whole year. Just pay school fees using Momo. Dial *165 *80#. Select option 2 for school pay. Select option 1 to pay school fees. Enter the student number and amount and approve the transaction. You will now enter the draw to win school fees.
Hello, Kampala, Uganda. In response to the national call of strengthening the traffic security, Good Products Group HGO brand has officially launched the Rider Selection Campaign. Registration is now open. Visit www.riders.hgo.com. Complete your registration now for a chance to win exciting prizes including motorcycles, exclusive HGO gift boxes, and official rider vests, all while promoting safe riding awareness. This is how to participate. Pay the registration fee, invite 3 friends to form a team of 4, and your registration fee will instantly be refunded. Begin your journey of honor today. Don't miss this opportunity. Join the challenge, promote road safety, and become a pioneer rider. For details, visit the official Good Products website at www.hgo.com or call toll-free 0800-335-555 or visit our offices at Kingdom Kampala 3rd floor to register now and win prizes worth millions.
I got to learn about the Powerball through the website www.nationallottery.go.ug. Played Powerball tickets worth 5,000, used an option of Quick Pick, and that's how I was able to be the lucky one to win 35 million. I checked my tickets online and I found out that I had winning numbers. The feeling was incredible and full of excitement. I would advise everyone who is 18 and above that whatever you're seeing here exemplifies reality. And I want to take this opportunity to thank Uganda National Lottery for bringing us this opportunity to win millions.
Uganda National Lottery. Dream, play, win.
The Minister of Finance, Planning and Economic Development will read the budget speech for the financial year 2025-2026 under the theme Full Monetization of Uganda's Economy through Commercial Agriculture, Industrialization, Expanding and Broadening Social Services, Digital Transformation and Market Access. Please listen to the budget speech on 12th June 2025 to know the budget priorities and the opportunities it presents. Our budget, our responsibility. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Finance, Planning and Economic Development.
Brought to you by
Welcome back from that break, and we're glad you're still with us. Up next is URA Commissioner, where the Commissioner of URA answers your questions.
To this program of URA Commissioner. This week, as I promised you the last time, we are going to continue with the second part of the question of our brother, Mr. Joseph Wasoma from Chileka, who asked the question, what's behind different taxes on one business and how are these taxes calculated? So our focus today is on indirect taxes because last week we dealt with the issue of direct taxes. Now let's look at a quick example of customs duties, and these are a bit many. Customs taxes. So, first of all, the customs taxes are now determined at a regional level. So they are administered no longer under our own laws as a country. It is under the East African Community laws. And the act that manages this is the East African Customs Management Act, IACMA. Now, under the East African Customs Management Act, because of the policy of import substitution, there is 0% tax paid on imports of raw materials. So anything raw material pays 0% import taxes because the idea is lower the cost of raw materials, and once they are here, then you're encouraging more manufacturing and value addition to those raw materials. The next category that pays minimal tax, the other category before I leave the 0% is on medical equipment, because the idea also is that you have medical equipment affordable. So medical equipment is also under zero rate. Then the next one is textbooks. Again, make education as affordable for everyone as possible. So the whole region agreed that for those items, there will be zero tax. And a few other things are zero rated. The rest pay some minimal tax. So there are those they call intermediary products. And these are the next level of raw materials. So they've been worked on, but they are not finished products. They are intermediate products. These ones pay 10%. So intermediate products pay 10%. The next category is finished products. Finished products pay 25%. Finished products pay 25%. And then the final and highest import duty is on the finished products, but which we can manufacture, or we're already manufacturing here in the region. And this is to ensure that we also support local manufacturing. We also support local manufacturing. So for the finished products, but which are available within the region, these ones, they pay the highest band, which is 35%.
URA Commissioner. Now you can get direct answers. Send your tax-related questions via WhatsApp or SMS to 0790-141-887, and the Commissioner General of URA, John Musinguzi, will personally address them. Tune in.
So now into sports. Uganda has put on a gallant display during the inaugural East African Regional Beach Rowing Sprint Championships at Bujanko Beach. The event was endorsed by the World and Africa rowing bodies, plus National Council of Sports, Uganda Olympic Committee and Buganda Kingdom.
Uganda performance has climaxed the nation at top, others at the inaugural East Africa Regional Beach Rowing Sprint at Bunjako Beach, with athletes Sharif Lukwago, Derek Muhindo, Joshua Masola, Innocent Wandera and Grace Chomuhendo, Uganda winning 4 of the 11 races. The championship was Uganda's double Olympian Catherine Noble, who appreciated this new genre that Uganda must embrace.
So beach sprints is a new discipline. We've never had this discipline before. So people are coming with a bit of experience from the classic rowing and trying to convert it to beach sprints. I think overall beach sprints will be really good for Uganda, because Uganda, we have very fast runners, and also it's new for everyone in the world, so everyone is still trying to figure it out. So I think we have a bit of an advantage in beach sprints, and I hope that Uganda can really focus on beach sprints. I think what we learned this weekend is we have a lot of work to do in terms of teaching people how to control the boat, especially controlling the steering. So I think that will be the first priority.
The championship ran alongside a well-attended week-long technical course run by officials from the World Rowing and Africa Rowing. The course and championship attracted participants from Kenya, Zimbabwe, Zambia and Malawi.
And this is very important because it helps us build capacity. This facility is very good, as we can see. The rowers have enjoyed the water, the atmosphere, and we believe that such events help us not only allow our rowers to have an opportunity to row and compete against other rowers from the region, but also build the technical capacity of the federation.
Others were rewarded for excellency were Zimbabweans Tawanyasha Chakona and Chinahamo Tungamirai, and Kenyans Diana Natecho, Douglas Diose and Salim Haida. Sudat Kaye, UBC Sport.
Right now, UBC News Tonight has come to an end, but we do hand you over to Jethro Kasaiji, who is ready at the front bench, of course, with an interesting panel this evening, and also an interesting topic that they will be discussing today: enhancing healthcare through workforce and development oversight. Now, over to you, Jethro. Take it away.
Lauryn Kazimoto. Good evening, Uganda. Good evening to those who are watching us from wherever you're watching us from the different parts of the country, those who are watching us live on YouTube. This is the front bench. Happy Heroes Day. Now, tonight, we have a pleasure. The guests that we have tonight, we really have to appreciate them. Why? They accepted to be the heroes for the front bench. Now, ladies and gentlemen, our focus tonight, we are going to focus on the mandate of the Health Service Commission. Now, what they do kinda is different from the work that is being done by the Ministry of Health. Now, for those of you who are watching us, you must be very attentive to understand what do they have to do as a commission to ensure that they serve Ugandans. Ladies and gentlemen, I have the honor to introduce to you Dr. Henry Mwebesa, who is the chairman for the Health Service Commission. Good to have you on the show, Doctor. Thank you so much for accepting to be our hero for the bench. You're most welcome, Doctor.
Thank you. Good evening, viewers. Happy Heroes Day. Indeed, I'm Mwebesa Henry, Chairperson Health Service Commission since March this year.
Well, thank you so much, Doctor. I also do have the pleasure to also introduce the Permanent Secretary of the Health Service Commission, Miss Katie Lamaro. Thank you so much as well for accepting, for being our hero for the front bench tonight.
Thank you, Jethro. Good evening, viewers, and happy Heroes Day. I'm the Secretary Health Service Commission, like Jethro has said, and I'm also Permanent Secretary and Accounting Officer to the Health Service Commission. Thank you for the invitation.
Well, we shall be understanding what they've done to enhance the healthcare through the workforce, of course, and development oversight. But of course, be part of this conversation, of course, using that hashtag UBC Frontbench. But as usual, we also have that phone contact, what we usually share on the screens. You can as well send in your comments and questions to be part of this interesting conversation. I am Jethro Kasaiji. Let's